Hey guys, and welcome to Pheas Software. Today I'm going to show you how to program the HAL ETU in the Specna ARMS AR9X series. Hey guys, and welcome back. If you do enjoy this content today, please do consider liking, commenting, subscribing, because those are the interactions that help get seen by the YouTube algorithms. That helps the channel to grow. All the link socials are down below on the Linktree link. Come on, Pheas. Join button down below will take your channel memberships, custom giveaways, videos, 99 pence a month or equivalent in your country. Totally optional, really appreciated. So let's get into this then. So we've seen the unboxing, we've seen the disassembly. So now what we're going to do is we're going to do a programming. So I've connected a battery up. That's literally all I've done. And to get it into programming mode, I'm literally just going to switch all the way to auto and back to semi, but quicker. And we're now in programming mode. Now, this programming, I'm going to turn that off for 2 seconds. We'll come back to it in a second. That confirmed end of it. So it allows us to configure things like a lighter, more responsive trigger pull, gives us a bit longer service life. It's got some extra features in there, like binary trigger and stuff like that. And it's fully compatible with brushless motors as well. So you are all good for that sort of thing. Now, when you first get them out of the box, you need to activate the trigger. To do that, you plug your battery in. You leave it on safe. Once it's done its beep, you hold the trigger for 5 seconds and it activates the trigger. That's really, really important. And then you can use the MOSFET, the gun, the whole system. If you don't do that, you will think it is broken. So keep that in mind. Second thing, if you want to reset your system, factory reset, including re-enabling the trigger sort of block, we have to reactivate it again. So you're going to put it on safe, you're going to hold your trigger, and you are going to connect a battery while still holding the trigger for 5 seconds. You'll hear a beep sound. That's a factory reset. At that point, you will have to reactivate the trigger, but all settings are back to normal. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to put it into programming mode, and when it first starts, you're going to be in auto fire mode. So in terms of the options that we want, we're going to be cycling through with a number of beeps and some menus and things like that to change our options. So it'll make sense when I sort of start getting into it. Okay, so let's get into programming mode then. So I'm going to go all the way to auto and back to semi really quick, and we get the beeps. So what we're going to do now is we're going to use our trigger to cycle through the 5 sort of main options. So 1 beep is the auto settings. 2 beeps is the semi-fire mode settings. 3 is the trigger point, basically how far you have to pull the trigger before it goes, like shoots. 4 is the pre-cocking level between 1 and 6. And then 5 is turning the active braking on or off. And then press it again, we're back to 1. Now, based on those number of beeps, we then use the selector to go into the submenu. So we're on 1 beep, means that we're at the auto settings. So I'm going to go to auto. I'm now in the submenu. So 1 beep means auto. If I press that again, 2 beeps means that auto will be semi-firing. Press it again, 3 round burst. 4 beeps means 5 round burst. Back to auto again. And then when I'm ready, I just switch it back to semi. I'm now go back up a level to the main menu. So I'm on auto, I go to semi-auto. So in semi-auto, I can set semi, binary trigger, which is fire as I pull, fire as I let go. Org trigger, which is get a shot, and then if I keep holding it, it will go to auto. And then I can have a sniper, sort of like a delay. The trigger point is just the sensitivity about how sensitive you want it to be before it goes, so you can like touch it and it will fire sort of thing. Pre-cocking is pre-winding the gearbox between 1 and 6 levels, so you get almost an instantaneous single shot. That is only really good if you're going to use a lot of semi-auto. Again, so if we press the trigger, so we're on 3, that's trigger point, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I'm going to go into the pre-cocking submenu. So I've got 1 beep is level 1, 2 beeps is level 2, 3 beeps is level 3, 4, 5, level 6, back to level 1. And when I'm done, I go back to semi, I go back up to the main menu. And when I'm ready to save my settings, so I'm just going to hold the trigger down for 3 seconds. That's now configured. So I go back to save. If I'd made any changes, I should now have semi and auto as normal. And I've programmed it as easy as that. The graphic on screen hopefully will have shown you and talked you through sort of where I was at each stage. So we just, to recap, to get into programming with your battery connected to auto and back to semi, and then use your trigger to cycle through your main menu options. So 1 beep is auto, 2 is semi, 3 is trigger sensitivity, 4 is precocking, 5 is active brake. You then use the auto switch to go into the sub menu and choose what you want. And when you've got a setting that you're happy with, you press and hold the trigger for 3. And then it's saved. And then you can go back and you're done and you're configured and you change the setting at a time. Obviously, at the start of the video, we discussed factory resetting it. That will disable the trigger, which would have to reactivate again. So I hope that's been useful. Really quick and simple. It takes a little bit of getting used to using the semi and the auto switch to engage into different menu levels and things like that, but really quite effective and some cool little functionalities really quickly and easily applied to it. Hope you enjoyed that. Please remember to like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye.